In today's video, we're talking about abusive relationships. Hi, my name's Christiane Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women over 50 who are getting happy and growing younger. This is a little bit of a departure for me, this video, but it's a highly requested video and has been really since my channel began, but more so recently, which is why I wanted to talk about it today. Now, in terms of happiness, which is what I'm about on this channel, increasing your happiness levels, right up there at the top of importance in terms of your happiness is the quality of your relationships. Now, if you are suffering through an abusive relationship, then you are not a happy person, and that's why you are my concern. That's the first thing. So, I'm guessing that those of you who've requested this video, and if you are watching this video, you have an interest in narcissism or abusive relationships, either because you yourself are suffering through it at the moment or you know someone who is. And so I'm guessing you know exactly what a narcissist is or what gaslighting means. And there's lots of videos on YouTube on that subject. Basically, if you are in a relationship where you feel disrespected, demeaned, belittled, often in front of others, if you are fearful, if you feel you're being controlled, if you are beginning to doubt your decision making, if you're being made to feel lacking in some way, if you are criticised all of the time, if you feel you are losing your confidence and losing your self-esteem, if you feel you are being controlled, you might be uncertain of your decision making. You may even feel that you're going insane. If you're feeling any of those, then the chances are you are being emotionally abused. And it doesn't matter what you call it, gaslighting, narcissism, whatever, it is abuse and it is not acceptable. You deserve better. Let me ask you the question. If you do feel that your relationship, that sounded like your relationship, why are you still there? Why are you still in that relationship? Now, I'm not being facetious there. I'm asking you to ask yourself that question. Why are you still there? Have a look at the pros and cons here of this relationship. You're still there. It probably has something to do with the frog in the frying pan effect, where the frog does not jump out of the frying pan because the heat is turned up so slowly that the frog has no idea what's happening to it until it's too late and the frog is unable to jump out. You understand that analogy? I'm sure you understand it perfectly well if you are in an abusive relationship, because the chances are when you met your partner, he was handsome and seductive and attentive, and he was present and loving. And slowly, when you look back, you see how it started. It may have started with a comment about something you were wearing that made you feel a little bit less confident. He may have started to say things to you about your friends and that they're not good for you, and taking you away from your friends slowly over time, so that you're finding yourself totally dependent on this person who is emotionally abusive to you. Now, the Oxford Dictionary says a narcissist is a person who has an excessive interest or admiration of themselves. Now that sounds a little bit like, just look how lovely I look today. It's not just about that at all. These people are master manipulators of others in order to get what they want. And what they usually want is power and control. That's what they need. Now, they're usually attracted, unfortunately, to empaths, kind, caring people, because kind and caring people are easier to manipulate. They're easier to manipulate. And what the narcissist wants is their needs met. They're not interested in your needs at all. Now, these people feel superior. They feel that they are superior. They cannot see you as an equal. It's never going to happen. They cannot see you as an equal. You exist to meet their needs and make them continue to look and feel good. They don't just feel superior to you, incidentally, they feel superior in general, which is why they deserve, according to them, all the power and all the control. Why do they feel like that? Why do they do this? That is not your problem. As far as I'm concerned, you are not their mother, you are not their carer or their mental health nurse. Undoubtedly, they will have had emotional abuse happen to them as a child, or they may have some deep-seated wound that needs healing themselves. Not your problem. As I say, you are not their mental health nurse, you are their partner, and which is ironic, the term partner. I'm not sure of the absolute definition, but I'm pretty sure equality is in there, and they do not see you as equal. Now, why I said at the top of this video that, if you're in an abusive relationship, it's you, not them. What I mean by that is it's you who's going to have to do something about it, not them. They are not going to change. It doesn't matter how you try to change yourself, how you bend over backwards in order to meet their needs. They are never going to be happy with you, and they are never going to change. They just see you as something, an object that's there for their needs only. That's the way it is. And when you start to accept that situation, now I don't mean accept the situation, I mean accept that it's happening, that's then when you can start to think about what your next step is going to be. Now, I know if you are in a state where your self-esteem is on the floor, where your confidence is low, it's very difficult. And when I say to you, why are you still in that relationship? The chances are the reason is fear. Fear that your abuser may harm you or may continue to hound you even if you do leave. You may have convinced yourself that it's not so bad and that they're nice some of the time. You may have children. They also may have convinced you that you're not worthy of anyone and no one else is going to want you anyway. That's pretty... I've had that said to me as a reason. Finance may be a problem. You may have no money. You may be financially unable to leave. If you have children, obviously it's difficult to leave a relationship if you have children. But the thing is, whether it's fear of being alone, which is a very strong fear, financial reasons, fear in general, fear of being alone, or the fact that you've got children, there is help available to you. There is help available to you. There are people waiting for you to help you. Professional people who understand what living with an emotional abuser is like. We understand now that we know far more now than we ever did when we were children. People like this were nasty pieces of work, end of story. Now we have labels for them, which is helpful. It's helpful because it helps us to understand the behaviour. I'm not so sure, I'm not so sure about labelling in general, but in this case, it does help us to understand behaviour. And so, yes, we call these people narcissists. The only issue I have with it, if I sound a little bit hesitant, is that we can start to bandy these terms around neglectfully. Living with someone with narcissistic personality disorder is hell. It's not just someone who likes himself a lot or is a little bit arrogant. They grind you down. and it is absolute hell, and it is difficult to break free, but it is possible because there is help. And this is what I want to say to you. So, you have to decide what your next step is going to be. Now, this is not my professional area of expertise, and you may not feel ready yet to seek professional help. So down below in the description box, so you hit the show more, I'm going to leave 3 resources for you. One of them is a book by Christiane Northrup, who she sees things in a different way, but she understands the subject. She's actually been through emotional abuse. She's a medical doctor, and she's straight speaking, which I like. Equally, the next chap, in all of my research, the one chap on YouTube that I would feel safe recommending to you is, again, a very straightforward, straight thinker, tell it how it is person, which is what you need. And so he has a video channel. I'll leave all the details below. And the third one is actually a course. Now, this is a course that you can take free of charge if money is an issue, but it helps you step by step. It isn't one of my courses, but it helps you step by step through all of the stages that we're talking about here, through actually looking at what's happening to you and understanding that it is actually happening to you, through right down to helping you to build your self-esteem and your self-worth, because that's what we need to do for you to give you the strength to be able to take the next step, whichever step you decide to take, and to get you in a place where you understand that you are worthy of a loving relationship. And in a loving relationship, which is what we are all worthy of and entitled to, you are entitled to feel cared for, to be in a relationship where you can express or disagree and know there will be no retribution, where there's a shared trust between you and your partner, where you feel supported and there's an easy affection between you, where your own needs are being met, where you feel listened to and safe, where you feel loved and respected most of the time. Now, obviously, all relationships have issues occasionally, but most of the time, we all are worthy and entitled to treat and be treated in that way. And you are too, just like any other human being who wants to share a warm, loving relationship with someone. You can have that too if that's what you want. Let me just say, please do not be, once you decide, if you decide that the right path for you is to walk away from your relationship, do not be in such a hurry to get yourself in another relationship. Allow yourself to be healed. You will need to allow yourself to be healed from an abusive relationship before you get involved with someone else, because if you do that too soon, what's likely to happen is you will be attracted to a similar kind of person and the whole thing will start to happen again. It's about you. It's about your happiness. It's about you healing from an abusive relationship. Please have a look at these resources below. Incidentally, if it isn't you who's going through an abusive relationship, but you know of someone who is, please share this video with them. I'll leave these resources below. Let me know if you use any or all of them, and let me know how you are getting on. There is definitely hope, and I wish you all the very best. Please keep in touch. You can keep in touch with me privately through my email address. But certainly let me know in the comments box below if you know any of the resources that I talk about, what your experience is of them. I'd be really grateful if you would do that for me. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you next time. And until then, remember that on the Happy Stuff and Fluff, we're getting happy and growing younger. See you soon. Bye-bye.